Yet, some scientists are a little more open-minded. P. Johnson, in his book, Darwin on Trial, writes, "Biological evolution is just one major part of a grand naturalistic project, which seeks to explain the origin of everything from the Big Bang to the present, without allowing any role to a creator. If Darwinists are to keep the creator out of the picture, they have to provide a naturalistic explanation for the origin of life."
With the help of intellectuals such as Marx and Freud, we are left with a view of humans as mere animals or machines who inhabit a universe controlled by chance, whose thoughts and actions are determined by the immutable and impersonal forces of nature and the environment. This materialistic concept of reality has slowly permeated every aspect of our culture.
Another important point to be observed is that Marx's dialectical materialism was clearly influenced by Darwin's work, The Origin of Species. In fact, a deeper study reveals that dialectical materialism is merely another name for Darwin's struggle for existence, extended into human affairs. As Daniel Dennett says in his book, Darwin's Dangerous Idea, Darwin's idea had been born as an answer to questions in biology, but it threatened to expand, offering answers, welcome or not, to questions in cosmology, going in one direction back to the Big Bang, and psychology, going in the other direction to explain the human mind and spirit. Darwin's idea thus also threatened to spread all the way up, dissolving the illusion of our own authorship, our own divine spark of creativity and spark of understanding. Darwin's dangerous idea has seeped into Western life in a number of subtle ways, slowly compromising the basis of our legal and political rights. If we are nothing more than the sum of chance, impersonal law, and environment, then we are not free and responsible individuals, endowed by our Creator with certain inalienable rights.
Because we are not free, we are not responsible. So paradoxically, we can do whatever we want. We are no longer accountable. The Holy Quran offers a different perspective.
He created the heavens and the earth with an eternal purpose, and He gave you shape and made your shapes beautiful, and to Him is the ultimate return. Chapter 64, verse 4.
Evolutionists do differ on the details of the process. If rival models of evolution cannot even in principle explain complexity, then Dawkins' blind watchmaker theory deserves to be called the theory of evolution. This is exactly what his protege,
Helena Cronin, did call it in her book, The Ant and the Peacock, where she referred to Dawkins' model simply as modern Darwinism. Harvard professor Stephen Jay Gould, in his angry review of Cronin's book, Gould denied that most evolutionary biologists accept the gene selection model as presented by Dawkins and declared that genes cannot possibly be the exclusive unit of selection. Gould asserted forcefully that most important bodily characteristics are emergent properties of organisms which are not produced in any direct way by individual genes or even combinations of genes. Instead, these properties are products of such complex interactions among genes that they cannot even in principle be adequately known or predicted at the genetic level. Hazrat Mirza Tahir Ahmed agrees. Again, it should be emphasized here that the phenomenon of natural selection under changing environments does not possess any instrument of affecting internal cellular changes to suit the external requirements. The chromosomes and the character-bearing genes lie far beyond the reach of chaotic external changes. The natural laws which govern them are insulated from the whims of cold and heat, of dryness and humidity. They are two absolutely unrelated phenomena. Hence, in a game of chance, as indeed it is a game of chance, it's highly implausible for it to always take the stride in the right direction as needed by the dictates of evolutionary requirements at that point in time. It is unfortunate, however, that most scientists shut their eyes to the inevitability of the hand of a conscious wise selector, who will always take the right decisions at the right moment and will not leave them to the throw of a dice.
How can it be possible for evolution to continuously march forward in the direction of man, while at each moment the chances of taking the wrong steps backward are overwhelmingly large?
At each step forward, evolution driven by chance should have slipped 100,000 steps backwards. But for life with no prefixed direction, as some naturalists believe, the concept of a step forward simply does not arise. Forward in which direction, and to what end, are the questions which can never be answered in relation to chance being its creator. Every step it took could be in any direction. Hence, even turning the journey of life backwards could not resolve the problem. Man, not being the ultimate goal of evolution, life would lose its bearing in the wilderness of chaos, squandering each quality it had gained by chance to the stormy, aimless winds of annihilation.
We've seen Dawkins and Gould disagree with each other over their respective theories of evolution. Dawkins says that evolution must be slow and gradual for the blind watchmaker to get the design done right. Gould states that according to the fossil evidence, evolution is not a slow and gradual process, but happens in geological instantaneous bursts.
Darwin recognized that the fossil record did not contain fossils of these intermediate forms of life. The number of transitional varieties which have formerly existed on the Earth must be truly enormous. However, why then is not every geological formation and every stratum full of such intermediate links? Geology assuredly does not reveal any such finely graduated organic chain, and this perhaps is the most obvious and gravest objection which can be urged against my theory. Charles Darwin, in his Origin of Species.